discussing the Naruto universe and its strength relative to One Piece, there's an entire list you can come up with in terms of interesting matchups that have a multitude of parallels when it comes to characters and their abilities. With one of the most popular and iconic of these matchups being Sasuke Uchiha, the Shadow Hokage, versus Roronoa Zoro, the Pirate Hunter. Two of the most loved characters in their individual series, who even give the main character a run for their money in terms of admiration among fans for just how powerful and cool they can be at times. So you guys should have already known it was only going to be a matter of time before I gave my take on who I think wins between these absolute legends of shonen by going over their respective stats such as AP/durability, speed, and abilities to figure out who exactly wins this matchup and why. But before that, I would like to quickly ask that you like the video as well as subscribe to the channel if you enjoy versus battle content like this and want to see more Naruto versus One Piece videos, as it's a win-win for both of us. To begin the scaling though, the first stat I want to talk about is speed, and something I want to establish off the bat is that both Zoro and Sasuke are relative in speed, as there's multiple methods of scaling that you can use to prove that these two characters are either faster than light or relative to light speed. And while I know that a lot of people in the versus community will see this as massive downplay for Sasuke and Zoro in terms of speed, as they have scaling methods that place their speed at MFTL, the reason I'm electing not to scale like this is that I think versus battles have slowly devolved into which character can blitz which, because you can calc stack them to be 1 billion times faster than light, which is kind of taking the fun out of scaling in general and led me to the conclusion that there's no reason to scale past faster than light once characters have shown consistent FTL scaling like in the case of Sasuke and Zoro. With that being said though, we can now get into attack potency and durability, starting off with Sasuke, who will be in the planetary ranges of attack potency by adulthood, as he's directly comparable to Kinshiki Otsutsuki, who is stated to be a planet splitter by the Boruto movie databook. And while some of you may be quick to dismiss this hypothetical feat/statement as hyperbolic since we've never seen it on screen, I would beg to differ, as Kinshiki being a planet splitter would be extremely consistent with the series, since Toneri, a younger and weaker Otsutsuki, was able to split the moon in Naruto the Last, which has been calculated to be a near planetary feat itself, giving Sasuke moon levels of attack potency at the bare minimum. Having said that though, I also understand that there will be people in the comment section clamoring about how Naruto characters are star, solar system, or even universal level, which I myself have argued for. However, if you actually look into these arguments more deeply, they don't do well under scrutiny and aren't consistent with the series at all, especially arguments surrounding Kaguya's eternal Truth Seeker orb and her time spaces. However, for the sake of the video, I will not be delving into the multitude of debunks regarding planet level plus Naruto, but just be aware that I know of these arguments and vehemently disagree with them. As for Sasuke's durability though, it's been shown to be comparable to his AP, as he's able to take hits from a fused Momoshiki and Ishiki, who are much stronger than Kinshiki, and he should also be relative to the same Naruto who could tank the collective kinetic energy of Toneri's moon-splitting sword by just amping his hand with chakra, giving Sasuke moon to small planet level durability just like his AP. With Sasuke discussed though, we can now move into Zoro and his AP/durability, but before we do that, we have to first talk about how strong Luffy and Kaido are, as their sky split has been calculated to be able to output upwards of 11.5 teratons of TNT, giving base advanced Conqueror's Haki Luffy and hybrid Kaido APs of 5.7 teratons of TNT respectively, which their durability would scale to via Newton's third law. This isn't the peak of Luffy and Kaido's power, however, as they're still shown to be relative after Luffy assumes his Gear 4 form, which is a 50 times multiplier from base using the Gear 2 and Gear 4 multipliers respectively, which would give advanced Conqueror's Gear 4 Luffy and hybrid Kaido new max APs of 287.5 teratons of TNT, which is large country level. But how did these two scale to Zoro, you may ask? Well, it's rather simple, as Zoro, even before unlocking Conqueror's coding, was able to scar hybrid Kaido, something Gear 4 Luffy couldn't accomplish, which would also give Zoro large country level attack potency via scaling. Now that both Zoro and Sasuke's physical stats have been discussed though, the last thing we need to go over is abilities and techniques, continuing with Zoro, who isn't really a hacks based fighter, as he mainly relies on close to mid-range sword attacks of different varieties. However, Zoro does have some useful abilities stemming from his proficiency with all three types of Haki, like the standard precognition and danger sensing granted by observation Haki, as well as the untouchable blow, which allows a practitioner of armament and Conqueror's Haki to flow their Haki into an attack that can destroy their opponents from the inside out without a user even needing to make physical contact with them. Skipping past Zoro though, it's now time to talk about Sasuke and his wide array of abilities, which include gravity manipulation, chakra absorption, and place swapping through the power of the Rinnegan, in addition to precognition, genjutsu, Amaterasu, flame control, and Susanoo through the power of the Sharingan. On top of all these Sharingan abilities though, Sasuke also has the Izanagi, which allows the user to completely rewrite any unwanted reality and essentially respawn like in Call of Duty at the cost of one of their eyes. Meaning even if someone managed to kill Sasuke, they'd essentially have round 2 on their hands in a blink of an eye. eye. Sasuke isn't just relying on his Sharingan though, as he's also a master of an insane variety of fire and lightning style ninjutsu that he can use to harm opponents or to defend himself at pretty much any range. With both Sasuke and Zoro's stats scaled and their abilities discussed though, we can now get into my evaluation of this matchup and just how I think things would play out. And right off the bat, I just have to say that this isn't very close, as Sasuke dwarfs Zoro not just in terms of raw AP, but he also has way more win cons like Amaterasu, Flame Control, Genjutsu, and Susanoo, in combination with insanely useful hacks like Ameno Tijikara, Chidori variants, gravity manipulation, and fucking respawn ability like bro is playing Mario, making it pretty much unfair to go up against Sasuke even with relative speed and durability negation in the case of Zoro, which in my opinion doesn't take away from the strength of Zoro at all, since there's a million busted techniques in the Naruto verse, especially in regards to Uchiha, that are borderline forgotten about as they become irrelevant due to power cliffing, making these abilities seem less impressive than they are. But that's just my opinion on this fight and why Sasuke gets the win. However, even if you disagree with me on this outcome, I would love to hear your opinion about the matchup and video in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you like versus battle content like this, as it allows me to make better videos more consistently, which is a plus for both of us. With all that being said though, I hope you guys are having a great day wherever you are, and until next time.